Coco, tough one. Just your overall thoughts on the match and what you found challenging on the court today.
Yeah, Paula was playing great, and maybe some moments in the first set could have gone my way. It could have been a different outcome in the first set, but yeah, well, I mean, yeah, I think it's just a lot more work to do. But I mean, I'm not obviously disappointed, but I'm not completely crushed. I'm looking forward to a lot.
Okay, questions?
Just in terms of errors and stuff you were making, is if something feel off in your rhythm or your technique, and how were you trying to adjust that as the match was going on?
Yeah, I felt like I was making a lot, especially in the net. Yeah, I think it was a little bit, the timing was a little bit off. I think I was hitting some balls too far in front almost, maybe playing a little bit too far back. But yeah, I mean, yeah, that's it.
Jermaine.
Well, look, Coco, you're obviously struggling with your forehand, and it seemed like you were kind of determined to continue attacking it. And you found, I mean, at the end of the match, it seemed like you found a rhythm there. Is it important for you to play in that way, like thinking about the future, so that becomes natural?
Yeah, definitely. I felt like I was setting up a lot of the points, well, and just the last ball. I mean, there was one at 40-15. I think I missed in net. So, yeah, there was a lot of errors on that side. And, I mean, I have to be aggressive. I feel like that's when I'm playing my best, and that's when, I'll have how I won most of the matches so far the last few months is by playing aggressive. So, yeah, I think it's just being more comfortable with that. I mean, I'm making a shift in my game. I haven't always played that aggressive, so I have to expect early on. But I do have faith that it will be, more of an instinct instead of like a second guess, I guess.
Matt, then Howard.
Hey, Coco, tough one today.
Thanks.
You had spoken a few times the week and a half about sort of, having a new perspective, and the tennis match is just a tennis match. I realize it's still pretty soon, but have you felt that, and how has that realized itself, if you have or if you haven't, in the last about an hour or so?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's tough right after, and I'm still disappointed, but I think the way I played, even though it wasn't my best, I gave it my all on the court, so that's something to be proud of, and I fought to the end, so I think that's something, some matches are gonna go my way, some are not, so I think it's just one of those things that, if maybe a couple years ago I feel a lot more crushed and feel like the world is ending type sadness, but now I think it's just disappointed that I could have done a little bit better in some areas, but I mean, I tried my best with what I had today, and that's all I can do.
Hey, Coco.
Hey.
You've played Paula a handful of times in the past. Was there anything that felt differently this time, and what would you say she was doing that created difficulty for you today?
I feel like our match in China to today was very similar. It was down the set and a break in China, and just a couple points went her way more today. But yeah, I don't feel like she did anything different. Maybe she played better in some of the more important moments. But at the end of the day, when you play somebody that many times, you know and that they're not going to do much different. So I don't think she played different. I just think that, she just played better on some of the points. I had chances in the first set. I was up 30-love one of those games. Had a second serve return and missed by a little bit. So who knows? Maybe if I win that game, it could be a different first set. So, yeah, and vice versa. If I didn't get broken so many times in that first set, it could have been, it's just when I play her, I feel like it's just who can do better in those key moments. And today she did better in those key moments.
Charlie.
Thanks.
I just wanted to ask, firstly, it feels like your master feels quite different now to when we spoke to you after the US Open defeat, and if that's kind of your sense too, and also just what's next for you in the next few weeks, and how do you think you'll move on from this?
Yeah, I felt like US Open, I was playing with no solution, so I think that was more the frustrating part. And today I feel like I'm playing with solutions, and I know what I need to work on, and US Open, I needed to work on my serve. Not saying that my serve is where I want it to be, but I worked on it, and obviously a big improvement. And so I want to continue to working on that, continue on working on playing aggressive margin. And, so I think I feel like I'm on the road to the right path. And so I'm not crushed. I think US Open, I felt from the start of the year to that point, I feel like I had maybe not gone backward, gone backwards or a little bit stagnant. And even though I lost today, I definitely feel like I'm in an upward trajectory. So I think I'm just not, crushed. But obviously, it does feel bad when you feel like you're playing great tennis for the better start of this year to lose. But it is what it is, and we'll get back to work.
On the next few weeks. And
Oh, yeah. I don't know. I haven't thought that far ahead. I mean, there's Doha, Dubai, the same thing every year. So just trying to, I guess, get better. I'm going to go home and take a break. I've been playing a lot of tennis since basically since the end of the last year. So, yeah, take a little, like a week off or something like that and then get back to work and get better. I don't think Doha and Dubai is like a priority. Obviously, if I do well, great. But obviously the next thing is French Open, so try to progress for that.
Go ahead.
Hi, Coco. Aish from Sportskeeda. Tough luck today, but are there any positives that you can draw from this campaign? I mean, quarterfinals is not bad after all.
Yeah. It's not you're right, it's not a bad result. I think, the better you do, the more you take for granted of this. I think some of the things the positives I can take away is I had a tough draw in Wimbledon. I had a tough draw and I kind of succumbed to that. So same at US Open. So I feel like, I was ready from the start of this tournament. With each match I found solutions, even against Belinda. Wasn't playing, my best, but I was able to turn it around. And then today I was, close to doing that as well. So there's a lot of things to be proud of, a lot of things to look forward to.
Courtney?
Coco, tough one today.
Thanks.
What's the key for you in terms of detaching yourself? Because you've been very open about your work in progress, that despite your accomplishments, that, there are things that you want to work on.
Yeah.
How do you detach that from, or focus on that despite all the expectations of what people think you're supposed to be doing at this age, given your talents and things like that?
Yeah, I guess you just got to realize that most of the internet coaches never coached anyone at my level and never played. So it's one of those things. It's easier to look on the outside. It's, all those things when you're playing and you're commentating and, you'll, hear some, not commentators, but just people saying, oh, she should have made this or he should have made that. And even when I'm watching, I do that. But obviously when you're out there, it's different. So I think, I guess this is really the thing that I just take from it is I'm the one out there and I'm the one who makes the decisions at the end of the day. So, if people want to say things, it is what it is. I take it with a grain of salt. And, some people do mean well. So I don't look at it as all bad, but, I'm proud of myself, and that's all I can say. And I promise that I'm going to continue to try my best to improve and, live up to my, own expectations of myself and, whatever everybody else has. Whatever. I can't control that.
Okay, last couple.
There was that really long service game to start the second set. I just wanted to know what was going through your mind as you kept serving and it kept getting to deuce.
I was just trying to make more first serves on the ad side. I think obviously I had a lot of game points that game. I don't think I made many first serves on those game points. So and then I was just trying to get through that game. Honestly, I felt like I was getting closer to breaking her. So obviously it's a little bit, it means more to break when you've held serve. But so I was just trying to, just fight through that game, and it didn't go my way, but it is what it is.
Okay, I think that's it. Thanks, Coco.
Thanks.